Welcome to Leadership Insight, where today it is about maintaining your peace while at work. And yes, we want you to maintain your peace everywhere you go. We are just going to specifically speak while at work. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to Leadership Insight. Come on, all career people, all leaders. I am so excited to be with you here today for this powerful leadership insight session where today we are really going to look at the topic that is impacting. First of all, when we're talking about peace at work, we are talking in general. However, there are people out there in this day and time who have been shaken and rattled. So I definitely want to pay attention to those as well. Some of us are facing battles. And when we're facing battles, what do we need to do? We need to have a clear mind, we need to have clear focus, and we need to make sure that we are still operating at a peaceful level so we can get what we need to get done. Some of you out there may be saying, I am perfectly fine. I'm not in a battle. Sparkle Joy, Coach Miranda. If you're not, guess what? There is going to come a time when you will be in a battle. So trust and believe at some point in your career, in our career, it is truly about making sure we're able to maintain your peace while at work. You are going to be tested if you haven't been. Some of you are now, and some of you will be to come. We're going to spend much of our time on this session really talking about making sure that we are intentional, making sure that we are cultivating our own stress-free work environments. Listen, we have work politics going on. We have the world's stage front and center politics going on that's affecting many people around us. Again, if not you, I am sure one of your neighbors is experiencing it. One of your friends are experiencing it. And it is real. Think about the constant demands that a job has. Think about how that can steal your peace. And let's be real, when we lose peace, it affects everything in our lives. It affects our focus, it affects our energy, and even the ability to lead effectively. For today, I'm going to walk you through how to protect your peace by recognizing what you can control and also what you can't control. You'll leave this session with a fresh perspective on navigating all of these work challenges without letting them rob you of your joy, your focus, and your confidence. Again, for today, the two things that we are going to focus on: what's in your control and what's not in your control. And some of you may be saying, Sparkle Joy Coach, why is this important? I want you to think about some of the best leaders that you've ever worked with. What made them stand out? And more often than not, they carried themselves with a sense of calm. And even in the middle of stressful situations, you were able to feel their level headedness. You were able to feel their calm. They weren't easily rattled. They weren't controlled by office drama, politics, tight deadlines, or those difficult personalities that we know sometimes we encounter. On the flip side, I am sure you can pinpoint those leaders who you have seen have been overwhelmed, frustrated, or even reactive. Dare I say, their lack of peace affected the entire team, making your work harder for everyone around. And the truth is, peace, hear me, peace is power. So listen, wherever you are, I need you to stop and say that. Peace is power. If you want to lead well, if you want to advance in your career, you have to learn to stay centered and unshaken by what is happening around you. And that starts with knowing what you can control and what you can't. So how often do you actually maintain peace at work? I wish I could hear your answer because I really would like to know, for you, ma'am, for you, sir, how often are you controlling your peace? Again, our 2 points today: are going to be what's in your control and what's not in your control. So let's go ahead and break this down. Own what you can control. Go ahead, take a screenshot of what you see here because it's going to be about own what you can control. There is power in realizing how much you can control and what you actually have to do. Too often we stress over things we feel powerless about. In reality, we can take small but powerful steps to protect our peace. So here is what's in your control. Your boundaries, you all. It's your boundaries. You can control that. You can control how much of yourself you give away day in and day out. You decide what is acceptable and what's not, whether it's setting limits over overtime. Sometimes some of you have flexible schedules, and that flexible schedule, when it's time to clock off, you are still working. Maybe that's the boundary that you're setting. If it's time to get off at 4 o'clock, you get off at 4 o'clock. It is about what's within your mechanism to control. Managing. Some of you are not managing your calendars wisely. Some of you give out too much energy for this person, that person. At the end of the day, you don't even have energy for yourself, but you can control that. You can maintain control of your own energy. Your peace depends on your ability to set and enforce healthy boundaries. You can't always take control of what happens, but you always can control how you respond. Did you hear me? No. Okay, there was a flood. You couldn't control that flood, but you can control how you respond to that flood. You can control your energy that you give to the flood, where you want to set it, instead of reacting emotionally to difficult situations. And right now in the world, we are dealing with some difficult situations. However, you don't have to respond in a way that's draining. You don't have to. Let me just say this. How about this? For some of you, you don't have to respond, period. Bam, we could wrap this all up, right? Okay. You have control of your reactions. You have control of your mindset. Now, for some of you, you may need to work on your mindset a little bit, and that's okay because mindset should be something that you are continuously working on. But you have control of your mindset, the way that you interpret workplace challenges, the way that you interpret some of the things that are coming towards you right now. That helps to shape your experience. So if you assume the worst about everything, and I know what I am saying for some of you is going to be hard, but there is always a way to find some positive intent. There is always a way, at least even within your circle, with your sphere of influence, that you can find some positive in the situation that you're dealing with. And understand, I know for some of you, this is difficult and it may be a bit much to swallow, but I am your Sparkle Joy coach, and I am telling you, we need to add, I need you to add a little bit of that sparkle in your situation and your self care. You control how you take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. Did you exercise this morning? Did you choose to have some fruit? Are you eating a vegetable or two? And you know you should be eating more than one or two vegetables. But did you? But guess what? You, ma'am, you, sir, you have control. But we want to just give our control away a lot of times and just, yeah, I'm just going to eat this and I'm going to eat that. But what you put in your body does matter, and you have control of your own self care. So if you're running on empty, everything at work is going to feel stressful. It's going to be so loud. It's going to be so loud you can't even hear. So I need you to be able to calm yourself down, prioritize your self-care. I want you to prioritize resting, prioritize off the TV. How about that? Cut off the news from time to time. And I'm not telling you that I don't want you to have an understanding of what's happening in our world, but I want you to take your own power back. Take your control back. Prioritize rest. Prioritize movement. Prioritize joy. outside of work. When you feel that you can control, you feel more powerful and less like a victim in your circumstances. And there are ways that you really can bring back some more peace to your life. Our second point, what you can't control, accept what you can't control. Do you hear me? For some of you, this is going to be difficult, but I need you to accept what you can't control. Do you hear me? Accept it just as important as taking control of what you can. It's just as important to be able to let go of what you can't control. Too many career women, too many career people spend their day frustrated, not because of their own decision, but because they're trying to control things that simply are not in our hands to control. We are in, or some people, should I say, can feel like they're in a crisis mode right now. Some of those things you can't control, and yet you are allowing yourself to be so overwhelmed, so overburdened, so hopeless. You are allowing depression to set in. You are allowing anxiety to overwhelm and overtake you. And I am here to tell you, not today. That's right, not today. Here's what's not in your control: other people's actions and attitudes. Do you hear me? You can't control someone else's actions and their attitudes. You can't even control your boss's mood. You can't control that negative coworker, and you can't control how someone reacts to you, but you can control yourself. You can control your mind. You can control your thought process. And don't get me wrong, again, I'm not saying that these are easy things to do. If this does not come natural to you, these are things that you can start working on. Stop wasting energy trying to change people. It's exhausting, okay? And you're not going to do it. And if you change one, then guess how many minutes, spans of time you have lost trying to change somebody. It is just not worth it. When it comes to office politics, every workplace, we all know, we all have office politics, whether it's favoritism, whether it's that frustrating decision, and you're looking like, I don't understand why my boss did what they did. Well, guess what? You can't change it, but yet you're fuming, and yet you're giving your energy to something that you can't change. You can influence some things like culture, but you can't control every outcome. Instead of being consumed by any office drama, focus on excelling at what you're good, maintaining your integrity, being a positive individual. Maybe you see a glass half full versus half empty. Whatever it is that you do, focus on that and do it well. Now, if you're that person that is the negative Nelly, I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you to try to not focus on all that negativity, because that negativity can bring a person down. Unexpected changes, whether it's a sudden restructuring, and some of you out there are dealing with restructuring, whether it's a new policy, and some of you out there are dealing with lots of new policies, or you just feel overwhelmed at your workload at work. Things are shifting constantly, quickly. Instead of resisting the change, learn to adapt it with resilience. Still be that standout person that you are. Protect your energy. If you spend your time in the negative zone when you're not a negative person, you are not protecting your energy. If you're spending your time in all of the anxiety realm because here's this one and that one and this and that and da 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 da, you are not protecting your energy. You need to leave some of that at the door. Listen. Try to listen, to hear, listen, to learn, but not to respond. So what's the key takeaway? Stop carrying burdens that aren't yours to carry. When you free yourself from trying to control the uncontrollable, you free up your mental space to focus on what truly matters to you. So let's go ahead and recap. Maintaining your peace is a leadership skill that makes you more effective and resilient in the workplace. You have to separate what you can control from what you can't. So, what's in control? It's your boundaries, your reactions, your mindset, your self care. What can't you control? Other people. Okay. Office politics, sometimes world politics, and unexpected changes. When you focus on what's in your power and release what's not, you, my dear, will become unstoppable. And, ma'am, and sir, and people, I need more unstoppable people in the workplace with me. Let's remember this: you are responsible for protecting your peace. No one else will do it for you. If you want to advance in your career, you must learn to stay steady, unbothered, and focused on what truly matters. Thank you for joining me. Let's keep this conversation going. Drop a comment, share one thing that you're going to be committed to this week to maintain your peace at work. Let's learn together. Join me next week for another exciting, insightful session. You deserve the best. My goal is to help you reach to your next level. Let's elevate your career together. Don't forget to like and subscribe from whatever platform you're viewing us from. Until next time.